Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I'm Dr. Kim. This is Danny Shay. And thanks for joining us today. And we're going to be talking all about aliens and ETs today. So we'll put some questions in, but do capitalize them if you can so I can see them and we can answer some of those questions. But Danny, tell me what you've been doing today.
Yeah, I just woke up.
You did not. Danny's been busy, busy, busy.
Busy. I did my ancient oceans journey. So I've been doing these journeys just because our times are so crazy. And so today's was dropping into our ancient ocean with the intention of remembering who we are, why we came here, and connecting to that ancient knowledge. This last week, I saw the comet that is flying around every 80,000 years. And some people say that the oceans were made from ice from a comet. Some people say that. I don't know. That's always
We can always check on that and ask that question.
yeah.
And so, what exactly is that question?
What is our well, and here's what I get with that before we even dig in to ask that question, that part of the oceans are from a comet, but it would be, I guess the question would be, are our oceans seeded, do they come from comets hitting our planet?
Okay, that's a good question. We'll hopefully can remember that.
And how much of our oceans are, is there heavy water, light water? Does the comet water, does it sink to the depths more?
Write those questions down, Danny, so we can get through and not forget them when we get to the question time.
Okay. Okay, all right. So anyway, I've been doing that. So I woke up this morning early. I'm on the West Coast, and it's we were playing in our aquatic realm of we dropped into Lemuria a little bit. So I know some people did, into that magic. So that was fun. I love going in, doing journeys into the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
That's I'm just in heaven.
Yeah, you got the West Coast covered, and now I've got the East Coast covered.
Yeah.
So then tell me about your trip also, the tree trip.
The tree trip. It was trippy. Is tree hugging hippie here?
Is that somebody tree hugging hippie?
I think somebody is in, yeah.
That's a great name.
It is. It is. So we went up to, my younger brother and I went up to this place called the Bristlecone Pines. And there's a couple of areas on the planet that have these 4,000-year-old trees. The oldest living organism, I think, on the planet.
Really?
Yeah. So, well, as far as they know right now. And maybe it's just a tree or something. I don't know, but it's old. And so I wanted to go up there and just get into that and kind of feel that energy, ask it some questions, and see if I can get any ancient knowledge. And when I got up there at 10,000, these things are 10,000 feet.
Wow.
When I got up there, there was a little placard that it said, at one time, this was an ancient ocean.
Really?
Yes. And I'm like blown
10,000 feet.
At 10,000 feet. So, certainly we're changing. The message that I got from these ancient trees was, you think you have any effect on what's going on the planet. I mean, we
And about you individually?
um yeah, me and the species,
Okay,
with climate change
right.
and things like that. It was like we hardly even see you because their vibration is so different that it's kind of like they're in slow motion, but their vibration is really high. It's hard to describe.
Well, years ago when I was visiting when I was the interplanetary liaison going from planet to planet, when I was on Earth, the trees did.
What's that job about?
As a
Never
diplomat.
mind.
Yeah, no, well, Danny took that job over. If everybody wants to know, he's the diplomat now. Does a much better job than I did. And but when I was visiting the Earth, and one of the trees were telling me that they were waiting for our communication skills to improve, like being telepathic, before we could join them. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
that was like eye opening to me at that time, that they were waiting for us to improve our communication skills just to join them, because they're able to communicate all over the world.
Right. Right. Yeah. And through their root structure and through I mean, that feels like that's where they're sending a lot of their communication to. It's kind of hidden underground. And so we have to get into that right vibration to see it. The other really cool thing that, piggybacked on this
Well,
was,
well, hold on just a minute, because Karen says she has seen the Bristol cone trees. It is a different feel in that area, like it was a foreign space.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah, because it's 10,000 feet up, there's not a lot of oxygen.
Yeah.
And then I was smoking a lot of pot. So, like, no, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But we also got to see the comet that is in the skies right now. And it comes around every 80,000 years. And my younger brother took a picture of it. And it reminded me of the bristlecone message saying, "We hardly even see you." The way he takes that picture, he has a 30-second exposure. And so you can walk in front of the lens and it won't acknowledge that anything walked in front of it because you walked in front too fast. You have to stop for 15, 20 seconds in front of the lens in that long of an exposure. So we he got some amazing pictures of the comet, but we're on such different vibration and different vibrational frequencies that when people say, how come I can't see the ETs or because we're on a different vibration. And as we ascend and raise our vibrations up, then we're going to be able to see more and more and more and hear more, feel more of all this stuff that's around us. Either we have to slow up to raise our vibration, or we need to speed up to slow our vibration.
Or
One of these twos.
we just need to slow our brains down. That's basically what we're doing when we're meditating.
Yes.
Is slowing that part down.
Right.
But I'm going to say hi to some people that are in here, Danny. Or would you like to say hi while I'm starring some questions? Would you like
I can do that because we're streaming on both channels.
Exactly. You can see it. You can say hello, and I'll sit there and start starring
I'm going to
questions.
say hello. Okay, so hello. You want me to do more than that, don't you? So I'm scrolling up there.
No, that could be all of what people would like to. It just depends what you would like to do, Danny.
No, I'm good. So I hope I don't miss anybody. I may, but hello, Annie Bear. It's good to see you. Hello, Vivian and Tina and Maria. I don't know if you know this, Dr. Gail, but Maria has perfect health. Did you know that?
Yes, I do.
She does. And hey, Karen, good to see you. Fine in Phoenix. Ah, that's good. That's good. And here's White Dragon. Hey, White Dragon,
Well,
always good to see you. And Mary Layer.
well, there's 81 people here, so Danny.
I got to keep going, huh? Hippin City. Hypnicity. I'm sorry, I mispronounced her name. All right. All right. Hello, Wendy. You let me know when to stop because I'll just keep scrolling.
Okay.
Forward and Rossi. Debbie, 3 shifting bales. Granny at B 1961. Granny. Dang. Granny at 1961. She's a granny at 1961 or
She's probably going, Danny, you're thinking too much in it. Don't talk about that. You're going, stop it, Danny, move on. Quit calculating my age.
Yeah. And hey, did someone say shenanigans? Did somebody say that?
Yes. I love that name.
Hello, Darlene. Yeah. And Marvita Dragonfly. Ooh, that's a good one. Julie Hummel. All right.
Yeah, and you can adjust. There's some new people in here that we haven't seen before. Thanks for all the new subscribers. And actually, I didn't know this, but I did an interview, and I think I told you about that, Danny, about somebody that was in Japan. And I did an interview with her, and she just posted it the day before yesterday or 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, I'm getting responses from people, and then I saw it, and my gosh, go ahead and keep saying hi, and I can look up what if she does a near-death experience is her channel, and let me look that up so I can tell people they can go watch that interview. And it was the first time that I've always been asked questions on interview, and this is the first time somebody says, "Oh, you have 30 minutes, talk." I was like a deer in headlights. I'm going, oh no. I'm going to look that up so I can tell.
Okay. So I'll keep saying, hey, Marjorie McConnell. Good to see you. Marby. This is hard to pronounce everybody's names.
I just try to take the beginning of a lot of them.
Jen. That was a good one. That's an easy one. I can pronounce that all day. All right. Isabel.
You're just entertaining talking to people.
I like talking to people. Give me 30 minutes. I'll talk to them. All right. I think I got everybody. I like Tina McSee's. She's got a little butterfly up there. That's cool.
It's the name of it is Life After Life, NDE. I'll write this in. And it's an interview of me. And it was, as I said, it was a different interview because I would say, you got 30 minutes talk. And, ooh, I just messed all that up. Forget that. Let me see. Life. Okay. You can keep on, Danny, while I'm typing this in.
Okay. Well, I'll say hi to M. Is that like Q? Is she M? Are you from like the James Bond series? We have Carl and Carly. Whoa. From Vancouver. Hello, Vancouver. Woohoo. All right. Okay, hurry up, Gail. I think I've got everybody. You didn't go through 90 people. There's 90 people in the chat. I'm gonna have to start repeating. Hello, Debbie, 3 shifting bales. No.
Well, so whatever I did, I got us big now. So I'm going to get my hands off of this keyboard. And I have my nose, my eyes running. All my guides are showing up, and everybody. I have ET guides, angel guides. Lately, I've got a new guide who's a Palladian, who his name is Rocor, And this is the first time he has shown up for one of my live shows today. So I'm not sure because he just stands there and stares at me. And I'm not sure why he does that, but
He wanted to say hi to me.
yeah, there you go. Ah, better.
Hey, Rokor.
So, and so anyway, we're going to get into talking about water beings. And Danny, tell them what you do first, because they're going, who is this guy? I came over here to talk about ETs, and I know she does ETs and Danny does ETs, but talk about a little bit more about your channel.
Well, my channel, it started out as a political read channel. It started out as me practicing throwing cards during COVID because everything got locked up and I couldn't read anybody personally anymore. So that's how it started. And then in this wonderful community, we get to open up to a lot of different things. Some of them are very strange. I got to meet Dr. Gail here in the YouTube community, and she's going, "Oh yeah, you've got ETs around. Oh yeah, you got," and I'm like, "What? What is going on?" So as time went on, I became more aware of the galactic side.
And he's saying that nicely as time goes on. This is me with Danny. Come on, Danny. Come on, Danny. A little bit further.
I'm kicking and screaming, and she's grabbing me. Come on, let's go. And so, and now it's just an everyday occurrence. Yeah, okay. And whether, I am not the guy that sees and didn't see, but I'm not the guy that is aware all the time of the ETs that are around me. I really have to focus and get my vibration to a certain place. But they're certainly around. You can see them right there. And there's certain awarenesses that I tap into that I never would have tapped into without Gail and other people in this community that push me along and that support me in my path as I open up to this new awareness, old awareness. So that's it. Is that good enough?
That's great. Here's Mimi. She says, ET images scare me. Do we look creepy to the ETs? I think that's a great question. And Mimi, I'm sorry that they scare you, that the ET images scare you. What they tell me is we look like a bag of water to them. So I don't think that we're scary to them, but some of them do have problems with the way we smell. And we have problems with the way they smell too. But I think they're more used to seeing us and versus us seeing them. Or it's you us seeing them. They've been seeing us for years or decades or centuries or whatever. Dan, you have anything to help Mimi on this?
Yeah, they scared me too a little bit when I would see them, and I'd go, "Oh my gosh, you're big." They were so big when they show up. I had one that was in my hallway looking at me, and I'm like, "Yikes, don't scare me." And it went away. So as we get used to seeing them, and I'm always calling in beings of the higher purpose, never anyone that is low level or any of that. So only the higher beings, only the ones of love and light can show up that are going to help. And so I just put that protection around. And yeah, we have things that look really scary on this planet, but they're not going to hurt us, like bees. You can put them on your hands, or snakes. They're some
Yes.
people get really creeped out, but they're not that. Once you get used to them, they're fine.
Yeah. And here's Debbie. She says, I think they look fascinating. Then again, I love Star Trek, Doctor Who, Star Wars. That's me too,
Yeah,
Debbie.
yeah,
And they don't scare me. And I think it's more their vibration or whatever I'm around. But right in the beginning, they've all been telling me I'm very protected, and I did have to learn how to deal with the negative ones, like a Draco in the beginning, and realize that we're stronger than any of them. And I mean, I think it was the last show they were saying that we could just say "boo" and they go away. Me, if there's one around and I don't like it, I'm usually kicking and screaming and yelling and cussing at it to tell it to go away and calling in Archangel Michael for protection. And but we are stronger than they are. So, but there are some that the very first time I met a reptilian, I remember I was very standoffish with that one. And,
hmm
and then finally, and I wouldn't even look at him in the face. I would stand beside him and I'd look down and I wouldn't even look at him in the eyes. And finally, when I got used to his energy and found out, I mean, he was so sweet, his energy. And then finally, I looked into his eyes, and he had these brown eyes that just made you melt. That he was so sweet and genuine,
yeah,
and so then I didn't have any problems with them anymore. So
yeah.
it just depends what your experience was. But Danny, talk about the experience you had recently when you were calling me up, all excited that you met these ETs or saw them.
Yeah. I woke up from a dream, and or I was still in the dream. I'm not quite sure, but it was so vivid. It was just incredible, and it was an insectoid, and I've never seen an insectoid, and it was so cool. And um, I mean, that's about it for now with it. It was just the introduction, um,
You know,
and
anytime I've had an insectoid show up, they're always coming in with a message telling me what my new job's going to be. So whenever they're showing
uh,
up, or they come for healings too, they come for those two things. So
yeah.
it's not, I never have them just show up. There's always a reason for them.
Well, I want a pay raise. So if they're giving me a new job, do I get a company car?
It could have been a healing.
I want a company spaceship.
You'd already have a company spaceship.
I did.
So, all right. But anyway, we are going to be talking about a little bit more about the water beings. And Danny's just been doing, he's done 2 meditation groups and about water. And Danny, tell a little bit about what they were about.
Well, these were about. It's pretty. Everybody has their own experience when they go on these journeys. We set the intention, but everybody can change the intention to what they really need it to be. And so it's a lot about it. A lot of it is healing, just being in that healing space. And then today's journey was going into the ocean. We swam with Whale, and Whale took us down into a place where there's anchors, where we get to anchor ourselves in the star knowledge, and so that we are grounded on this planet so that we can shine our light and shine our path in these crazy turbulent times. And we went down to Lemuria, and we also got some information from the ancients on how we can live through these times. The Hopi have a creation story where they say they are from Lemuria, and they also have a prophecy rock that says we're at a crossroads. So we can either rise up or we can drop down into vibration. So I find it fascinating that the message that I got was we need to be so grounded so that we can fly.
Oh, that's a good message.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's this duality that I've been playing with a lot. And you need both. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, do you remember the questions you were thinking in your head to ask?
No. I couldn't find a pen.
Okay. All right. Well,
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I do.
okay.
I
Go
do.
ahead.
How much of the oceans are, how much of the oceans come from comets, come from star seeds, star beans, how much of the oceans come from ice from space? How about that?
Ice from space. Well, what about the ice age?
Okay.
So, because I don't know the ice would be exactly from space as much as the ice age.
Well, if a comet hits the Earth,
Okay, comet. Okay.
okay, and it's full of all this stuff.
Okay. Well, it's definitely yes from the comets. The oceans are for the comets. But I have a feeling that the comets caused it, but I think the ice age created the water, and I'm getting a big yes on this.
Okay.
So you pull some cards on that, and that's for the people that are new. Danny gets this information a lot from cards, and I get mine from whoever's here, my ET guides that are usually here, and so we have that collaboration where he's pulling the cards and getting a little more details. Mine are usually one or two answers from the questions. So,
Yeah. Well, I think I'm still on the vibration of the journeys that I was doing this week. And it's all about when we go into that ancient knowledge. The three cards I got were shine your light, She of the Lotus, which this is Kamala's card, by the way. That's her name. Where you have this flower growing out of this stagnant type of water. And then I got the Ancient Future card. And this is the card that actually pulled me into this journey space. And this journey space was saying that we have to, when we tap into this ancient water, this ancient knowledge, it's allowing us to stand strong in our light with all of this turmoil around us. So that's what I got from all of that,
yeah.
is that we need to shine.
Here's Missy says comets swirl like hurricanes, don't they? That's a good thought process on that one. The comets swirl like hurricanes, and I get a yes on that.
Wow.
Hey, Nancy Jean, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Nancy.
And there's Lori, and there's Sharon Sipe.
Sharon Sipe.
Hey, everybody. That's interesting.
Comets swirl like hurricanes. Comets swirl like pendulums.
Exactly, but I did get that comets do swirl like hurricanes, and it makes sense that they're going to go in and make the oceans, that they'd be swirling down.
Yeah, I get that. I get that too.
So the question is you're wanting to know if the ice is coming from the comets too, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So is that the question, of the ice coming from the comets?
Well, is there ancient knowledge? Where's all don't know. My brain just keeps going off into different directions with this.
Yeah.
Where is the majority of this ice ocean coming from? What's the planet system, the star system?
Well,
Does it even matter to? I don't
well,
know.
I got the ice is from our ice age, from our climate change, and that the holes where this ice went into were from hold on just a minute here. Were from the comets that were coming in, making the holes in the ice age, and when it started melting, we're going into the ocean. Is what I'm getting.
Hmm. And there's supposed to be a layer of water that's bigger than all of our oceans underneath the crust of the earth.
Right.
That's what I heard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think there's ships and things that actually go through our Earth on these waters and oceans and lakes and things like that. So I think the whole military's got that already kind of covered.
Yeah. So I did a lot of scuba diving in my earlier days, and a lot of the time that I spent was out in the Channel Islands, out near Catalina Island. And there's just south of Catalina um, is an island called San Miguel, and it's a military base. And there is some weird things going on underwater
Yeah.
around San Miguel. In Catalina, you can go into these caves, and I think that there is a connection between Catalina, Hawaii, and Mount Shasta.
No, you're probably right. Here's Tara Rena. I know I've butchered that name. She says that it might melt in contact with the atmosphere if there's ice from space entering our planet. She's saying that if there's ice entering our planet, it probably melt in contact. It looks like with our
Mm.
atmosphere. That's a thought. But yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't even thought about Catalina Island because I've been. I know there's a ET base at Catalina Island. I have done some work there, and let's ask if it's connected to Mount Shasta. And I'm getting a yes with Lemuria and Mount Shasta. There is a connection
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So, do you want to take a deep dive into that information about that connection?
Sure.
No, when I got at Catalina Island, I got that it was ETs and humans working there together in this base,
Mhm.
where it seems like most of the time the bases that I saw was either ETs or human, and this one was actually a collaboration of the humans and ETs working at Catalina Island.
Yeah. And is there a purpose for their why they're together?
You want to pull cards on that?
Yeah, let me see. Let me see what I get. I'm going to be using. Huh. Okay. So I'm using my Starseed Oracle cards.
Do you think there's an underwater connection between Mount Shasta and Catalina Island? That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
An underwater connection. Yeah,
they're showing me that there is.
yeah. And to me, what I'm getting with the cards is so Lemuria and Atlantis. My understanding of this was Atlantis took too much power in the wrong way. Lemuria was more peaceful, more working together in community, not so much worried about who was boss or whatever. But the card that I pulled is all paths lead to home, and that to me takes it back to Lemuria or to Telos. So there are certain paths that take us to Telos and Mount Shasta, and it's all about the ascension process, all about letting go of anger, fear, doubt, and it's kind of like just allowing that Lemurian energy to to start flowing again and flowing in a more surface way, on the surface instead of being underground. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. But they're showing me, I'm seeing this little, they're showing me a ship, and it almost looks like the ships that you see in the bottle going from Catalina Island to Telos or Mount Shasta. But it's showing me that maybe it's an underwater stream and maybe they miniaturized it. I'm not real sure about that, but they are showing me that there is some kind of connection on the water there.
Yeah, underwater.
Underwater.
Yeah, yeah. I just saw when you said that, I just thought of Peter Pan and in that ship. And I'm going, we need to play in that Peter Pan energy to access that vibration, to see all this beautiful, crazy stuff that's available to us.
Yeah. Well, you ready for some questions from people who are here?
Yes.
We've got 125 people in the chat right now.
Woohoo! Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, this is Standing in Your Light with Annie Bear. She says, good morning, Dr. Gail and Danny. What are Lemurians known for? What are the Lemurians known for?
I'll go.
This is right up both our alleys.
Yeah.
To the Lemurians, and especially in Mount Shasta and Telos.
Yeah. It's so amazing to tap into this energy, and for me, it's all about water. Obviously, it's Lemuria. It's a city that sunk. Well, maybe not sunk, but was in the Pacific, Hawaii, and Mount Shasta. And it's all about how we learn. For me, it's all about how we learn from whales, dolphins, playing, the hierarchy of learning, how we can learn through the Lemurian ways. It's all about peace and love. It's a calmness, and sometimes people think that, oh, we need to struggle to learn anything, or but that's not the Lemurian way, as I understand it. It's you may not get it, but it's not a struggle. You just didn't get it right away, and then you get it, or I mean, there is nobody being mean, nobody. It's
a lot of it is acceptance.
It's like the Essenes, when I believe that Jesus got a lot of his teaching, and he's a master teacher. He's not the religious guy that everybody puts him out, but I think that he was taught the Lemurian way on how to just accept everybody. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, sick or healthy. We're there to help and shine light and healing on the planet. And
they do a lot of healing there in Lemuria. I've been in there where I've seen them teaching each other techniques while in Lemuria. So that was pretty fascinating also. So the Lemurians are, to me, I know they're multicultural, multiracial beings. Originally, before I went out to Mount Shasta, I thought it was the Palladians that were in Telos, and they do very much look like the Palladians, but they like to be called Lemurians, and it's because they are multiracial, multi-species beings, and so they really like being called Lemurians.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense for me, because whenever I tap into and try to get a sense of a singular origin or something, I never could. It was always a blend of everything. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, because when I was moving out to Mount Shasta, that's all I was asking people, going, "Oh, was it the Palladians that lived there?" But they came in and said, "No, we are Lemurians." I'm going, "Okay, excuse me.
And don't make that mistake again.
I'm in Mount Shasta now. Let me say it correctly. They're Lemurians." And not
Yeah.
even the people that really live there um, talked about that. I didn't even hear Palladian coming out of their mouths. They always talked about Telos and the Lemurians. So
Yeah.
that obviously had been there for years, because a lot of my friends had lived there all their lives, and that's all they knew were they were Lemurians.
And there's, you mentioned the healing aspect of it. And that is so strong up there for me.
Yes.
Um, when I would do meditations and go up, and I would travel into Telos, almost without fail, they would drop me, or I would drop me into a healing chamber full of crystals,
Mm.
and uh, that's pretty dang powerful.
Yeah. And also, remember our very first time that we were together as a group meditating up there on Mount Shasta, we immediately met Saint Germain, that he
Hmm.
showed up with his friend, which I didn't know who she was. I didn't even know who he was at the time. It was a big learning process for me when I moved to Mount Shasta. And it was that they were wanting me to learn specifically from them, directly from them, instead of learning from everybody else. And so I had I discovered a lot when I was there. Learned a lot, like especially like call them Lemurians, not Blade,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So, um, but anyway, let me see what our next question is. I think it's from Jen Carr. Dr. Gail and Danny, any message from our Arcturian guide, Ramona, would be appreciated. Thank you.
Ramona. Ramona. What a name. That's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Ramona. I wish I had Spanish cards. Ramona.
I'll pull out my,
Any message.
let's see if I have them out. I pulled them out.
Jen Carr.
Oh, we've been talking about healing. I pulled out my Arcturian, what I consider my Arcturian deck, which is the sacred geometry. And I've got healing, which you can see this is like heart centered healing. You can see the green in
Yeah.
this. And it says the frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. So, Jen, what I'm getting is I've got to wipe my nose. I'm sorry. I've got my allergies. Excuse me, everybody. But Jen, so that's what I'm getting is a heart, going to your heart center and dealing with some of the things that have prevent you from going there. It's almost like I'm seeing the fragments that you're needing to get rid of for you to be able to start healing yourself and healing those. I think it's you're asking to do some shadow work for you to be able to go to being more heart centered. I think a lot of us are needing to do that, getting rid of some fragments from like our childhood and traumas that we've had, so we can become more heart centered, so we can open up our hearts, because a lot of that shadow stuff that we're dealing with, it has closed our hearts up, that we are protecting it and that we're not wanting to open it up, and we are being asked to start opening that area up. So there you go, Jen. That's a pretty big request for you.
Yeah.
What you got, Danny?
Yeah, what you said. I just say what you said. So immediately what I picked up, I heard the words walk lightly. So don't let this be too heavy on you. Stay in the light. Yeah, I got the King of Cups, the meditation card when you talked about the heart space. I have the Ace of Cups, and you can see she's just holding her heart space there, something new. Um, you are getting wrapped up with things that maybe you shouldn't be thinking about with the Two of Swords. I got the Four of Swords. This is another retreat card, but there's also the final card I got is the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. So I would probably, if I had more time, dig into it deeper as to a lot of times when we give something, we get it back tenfold. So that's kind of what I would look into a little bit. What is it that you can give so that you can get some of this healing back?
Well, she's saying her first question was supposed to be, but she erased it, was to start learning to heal. That was her first question. And there you go, Jen. I think you've got an answer on both of those questions.
Yeah, you're on the path though. She's walking. She's doing it.
Yeah. So let's see what I have next here. Scroll down. See if I make how many mistakes I make here. All right, hey, Tina. When I was Reiki, when you're in Reiki 1, attuned at Galactic came in. Oh, okay. When you're in Reiki 1 and you're doing those attunements they do, a Galactic came in. Also, Mary did a clearing and had a huge Galactic appear. Any insight on this Galactic would be appreciated. Both said it is a powerful one. Okay, so you've got a new galactic being that has shown up as your guide, is what you're saying. And I feel like he's big. He's big and powerful. And getting the name Carl, C-A-R-L. And this big, powerful being, that's why he showed up. I had a reptilian show up this today, right before, like he was coming in as my guide, and I do have some great reptilians I work with, but I wasn't real sure why he was here, Tina, and that's why he's here. It was for you, and he is huge, but he's sweet, and he's just a new guide. A guide, a protector. And he's leading you. Gosh, it looks like to me he's leading you to another spaceship. I think you're going through a big transition here, Tina. Dan, you have anything on that?
Yeah, I think you're going through a big transition too. Just know that that you're on the right path. Don't let this get so heavy that for me, I never get names. I think it helps sometimes so that you can call in that energy a lot easier. But I feel like with more meditation and opening up this awareness of who this energy is, that you'll get a clearer picture on who it is. It could be Palladian. I did get a Palladian energy card, but I also got a card of letting go of anger and in conflict. So make sure you stay in that love energy.
And she said it scared Mary. By his pure size, I can see how that did scare her, because he is huge.
And Mary's a scaredy cat, so
she's not.
I hope she isn't listening now. She'll like get me.
Well, I can see how it would be scary, because when he shows up, it's not like when we're talking about tall, 10 feet tall, this guy is like 20, 30 feet tall, and he just takes up the whole space. But I don't feel anything negative about him. I only feel and in fact, he kind of stands back because he knows he's how big he is. He knows that that can intimidate people. But I feel like he is just something that is going to lead you into your
Yeah.
new direction. That he is there to forge ahead with you. He's a protector. He is a guide. He is going to help you, Tina.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that too, and I think when I was talking about the anger and the conflict, I think that is the fear, maybe that you're showing them. It's just like get used to the energy, and stay in that love,
Yeah.
bring that positivity in, and see what he has to say.
Yeah.
I notice I am not calling him a scaredy cat. I am leaving that one alone because he's big energy.
He's big. All right. Here's a question from Carly. She says she's recently connected with feline beings
Mm.
as being my star family. Is this correct? Does my star family have a message for me? Okay, Carly. Let me see if you're with the Lyrans. Are you connected to the Lyrans? Yes, you are. And Danny, I'll let you give her the message.
Yeah, I just pulled the Lyran energy. Um, yeah, so that's cool. All
Yeah.
right, all right, all right. Here's what we got.
Yeah, the Lyrans are around. They came in probably about, I think it was November when they showed up, and they're here to help us ascend. And they're really present with all the light workers. There's one around all of us now.
Yeah, there's yeah, you're lifting the veil. You're birthing something new. So these Lyrans, they're helping you lift the veil a little bit. If something doesn't feel right about what you're doing, just let that go. It's that's not helping you. And
I'm laughing because Danny was the same way in the beginning.
yeah, but you are going on a new path, and so that new path that you're going on, you may be doubting yourself, and that's some of the stuff that you have to let go. Just don't doubt it. Just keep going, keep walking, and this is what this YouTube community is so awesome with, because it's such a safe place. You can talk about aliens and ETs, and everyone's going to go, cool, yeah. Whereas you go out in the real world and you may not get that.
Right. You're crazy. Or
Crazy.
you don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. So we're going to take, let's see, we have time maybe for 2 questions. Let me see if I can find, I'm going to pull up Carl here. How can I begin to work on my mission for the GFL? Thank you both for your dazzling light. Thanks, Carl. And GFL, for people, that's the Galactic Federation of Light that he's talking about. So how can you begin to work on your mission? I'm hearing listen. That's what I'm hearing is listen. Get quiet and listen. All right, let me see. Yeah, that's what they're saying. I'm getting the confirmation on that. And so listening is mainly through your meditation and through sleeping and their dream state. But basically listening, and they're showing me write it down. Write down everything. Write down everything that you are coming in contact with, or things that you think are questionable on the information coming in. Write it down and look at it later, and then it'll make sense. Is what they're saying. What you got, Danny?
Yeah, it's interesting. I pulled 3 nights in a row. This night energy. That's part of the court cards, but you got the Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups, and Knight of Pentacles. And so this may not be like a fast moving thing, as Gail was saying. Meditate on it and listen more. I also got the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So it's all about your heart space. It's all about meditation, and pay attention to the moon cycles. I think with new moons and full moons, those are great times to set your intentions, to do a little ceremony, to get into that space and pay attention to what shows up in in the moon cycles.
Great. The moon cycles.
It's
Okay.
a different kind. It's a different kind of light. The
Yeah.
galactic, it's you don't get it's black and white when you're looking at the moon, a full moon.
Right.
So it's not all dazzling color, but it's hugely powerful. And yeah, okay.
And a great message. Okay, this will be our last question. This is from Mary Lauer. Please, a message from my galactics. Hey, Mary, you want a message from your galactics? So I'm going to pull out of my Starseed Oracle deck.
Oh, me too.
Are you? I love this. Is my favorite deck. Is the Starseed Oracle.
Now, this is my favorite deck, the Starseed.
Yes. Okay. And it says Lost Lands. And it says soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. So, Mary, what this is talking about is your memories, your gifts, everything is coming forth. And it looks like to me, you're questioning a lot of it. You're going, where did that come from? Where did that gift from? Did I really hear that? Did I really see that? And the answer is yes, you did. Be aware of the messages that are coming in, because I'm showing that or seeing that they're bombarding you with different kind of messages right now. And your questioning is that right? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? And the answer is yes. Yes, yes, is what they keep saying. What you got, Danny?
I got I pulled two cards. I got the Great Severing, and this is Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So it feels like maybe you're getting a sense of just getting too frustrated with not moving ahead fast enough. And I don't know what this is, that Hadrian energy. I don't know what it is. You'll have to look it up. Hadari.
Hadarian.
What?
Hadarian.
Hadarian.
Hadarians are like love. They're just all love. They're the biggest ones. Their hearts. They're the ones that brought us the LGBTQ community. They're just heart-centered love. That's all
Right.
about Hadarians. Yeah.
Well, and that makes sense because the card says you got the love.
Yeah.
It also talks about codependency and boundaries. So, and again, with all of these cards, you pick the words that resonate with you. So if you don't have the codependency, if you don't need to set boundaries, I think we all need to set some boundaries a little bit. But just know that you're shifting from one place into another, one awareness into another, and give yourself the love, because you got it.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting her boundaries is coming from her past teachings, past experiences, that she can kind of put the boundaries on those and don't let them totally influence of what she's going through now.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had such a hard time with my past boundaries that were set up from my grandparents to my parents and to me. And I'm like, this isn't helping me anymore. It didn't help me then either, but.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks, Danny, as always.
Oh, thank you, Gail. This has been great. Thank you, everybody. Great questions.
Yes, and we will see y'all later. Danny, what's going on in your channel in the future?
right now, I do my Sunday shows, Sunday with Spirit, which is a non-political show. And right now we're still heavy into politics, that is going to be hopefully easing up. Hopefully. I mean, it's important so that we can learn how to manage this energy level. We have to deal with both energies. And I feel that many of us, me included, are too heavy on one side. So we need to lighten up. And this is a space to do it like your show. So thank you. Thank you, Gail.
You're welcome, Danny, and thanks for being here. And thanks, everybody. And we will see y'all later. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.